Right here underneath on my dashboard, well, first there's announcements. I'll be posting an announcement about the first of the semester tasks that you need to take care of, what to expect, instructions on how to import content. So you'll know I'm going to demonstrate that now, but I'll also have those instructions in an announcement. Pay attention to these. Some of them are for students that I post, but a lot of times they're information for you as well. Okay, so I'm going to click into one of my unpublished courses, which is quite empty. Oh, that's not my unpublished course. Let me go back. This one, the blank one, it tells me that it's empty. So that's just the name I gave it. And here I want to move content from a previous semester to my current semester. Now, if you want content from another instructor, you'll have to reach out to that instructor to provide me with permission to import it for you. You won't be able to get their content without going through me or Callie. So the simple steps here are import existing content. What I'm going to do is choose what I want to do. Here is copy a Canvas course. And I can begin typing, or I can actually just click on any course from the list. I can choose all content, or I can select specific content. There's two different ways to do this, meaning that if I choose all content, I'll get everything that I had in my previous course, and then I'll have some cleanup to do. Or I can select specific content that I only want to use this semester. I'm going to select all content. I encourage you to start working on your classic quiz, the old type quizzes, before you import existing quiz as new. It will transfer those quizzes over easily, but you may lose your question banks. And if you need more information about how to make sure you have your question banks, please reach out to me and I'll walk you through the steps to guarantee you have those. Okay, so I can also adjust dates here. Now, what that means is that I have to know when the course started last year, and then I want to change it to the new year. So in the past, the fall 23, I think it started, not 2018. You'd have to go through to the year that it started. And apparently this is not going to go quickly. Here we go. I picked a really old course to copy over. Almost, just passed it. So last year's courses started, I believe, on the 22nd. And you want to change it to August 21st. This should, in theory, change all your assignments automatically for you. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be clean, and it is also according to the terms as well, what to change it to. But I'm just going to leave it like that and see how that works. So I'm just going to click import, and it's going to begin running. Hopefully it won't take too long because I don't think I have anything heavy in this course. I do want to call your attention to a new tool that we have just added. Well, Canvas has just added, called Smart Search. This is for both you and your students. It allows you to quickly search anything in your course to see where it is and what specifics you might need to know. Okay, I'm gonna click to home because I'm almost finished. Let's see what's happened there. Not quite. Refresh it a couple of times here. Apparently I had a little heavier load in here than what I thought I had.
Happens to me all the time.
I know it. You say, I'm ready to get going, and then what happens? And of course, at this time of year, the import process runs a little slower because everybody's trying to get their courses up and running. Okay, it says I have one issue. I can click that to find out what they're talking about. So the user didn't have permission to reference question bank in quiz group. So that's something concerning my test. Maybe I had some questions from another instructor that I did, or a question bank from a publisher that I didn't have permission to use. And so that would not transfer over for me. All right, let's go to home and see what's happening here. So there's my home page. It came over. Let's see what's happening with my assignments. So all my assignments have weird dates on them. And please quickly check your dates underneath the syllabus to see what's happening, because these type things will transfer over to the current students. So they'll come in and they say that they missed a meeting test on the 24th. Well, you don't want them to do that. In this case, this is going to be a calendar date. We've got actual assignment here. These are calendar dates as well. And those, so you can come in and delete those. I'm going to click this to me in a new tab. And you'll see it's on my calendar. And I can just delete that because it's not going to be necessary for this course. So it's a quick way to check what you've got going on, what's going to be confusing to your students. And you'll see that that one's disappeared. Now, for the actual assignments that you'll be doing with your students, you want to go to your assignments. And notice here, I've got a couple of groups. They're organized kind of strange, but that doesn't matter because my main point right now is that I want to click those triple dots in the upper right and edit the assignment dates. So any assignment that I have will appear here. And notice that it really didn't change when I did that date change with the import process. It does not appear to have changed those dates for me. So what I'm going to do is just go quickly through here. And then, of course, I have to go through the year and change the dates. But it's a quick way to change the dates of all the assignments that you intend to use. You can provide available from and available till. But do know that it's only the due dates that will show up on your students' calendars. And these past due dates, they will show up as the students missing them. So you can just delete the due dates as well until you're ready to look at all the assignments and determine what it is you're going to have your students do. Once you've done that, there's a save here. And then you can double check in your assignments. A lot of time instructors don't want to get rid of old assignments. you're not sure which ones you're going to use, I encourage you to do that. Simply because it's going to help clean up your grades. Because you see here, I've got all these assignments going on. Some are published, some are not published. It gets kind of cumbersome. Click to the assignments. But you'll see that if you say, if I didn't want to use this studio video quiz, I can delete it. I can rescue it from the other course that had it, or I can come up here and type in undelete and rescue it. So go ahead and clean out anything that you're not planning to use this semester. If you have to rescue it, as long as the semester's going, the term hasn't ended, you can always restore something you've missed. This is also a good idea. So if you were working along cleaning up your course and you deleted a column, check here using the undelete to restore your content. Okay, any questions on that? Click back to my course.
Susan, real quick, will that work for any copied Canvas course or only ones within the last 2 years or 3 years?
So if I copy something from the past course, it doesn't matter if it's been in the last, as long as it's on my list that I can copy it, I should be able to pull that content. Now, Canvas will give you a notice that says this content's no longer available for copy.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
thanks.
Yes, go ahead.
where is the undelete button? I'm sorry.
So the undelete is actually where you have to type in the address bar. You do a backslash undelete.
Oh, okay.
And then that pulls up everything that you can restore that you've deleted.
Thank you.
Okay. Do know that you may have modules that you've added, and you'll see all these little circles next to your modules. That means that those particular things are hidden from your students. You do want to make sure before publishing your course that you can see them from the student view. So you click your student view and make sure that what you want your students to see is available to them. Now, in this case, I don't want my students seeing USHA, so I'll leave the student view and I can actually unpublish that whole module. And so no students are no longer seeing it. You saw that also unpublish the module only, but the items are still published. That's to prevent when students click on something and it's in a different place, that they should be able to still be able to view that, even if it were in a different module. What's newly added this semester is that on the modules, you can assign to everyone or assign to a specific student or assign to a specific section so that only those students have access to view that module. Round of applause on that. Because there's a lot of times when you have maybe dual sections, a graduate level and undergraduate level, and you may want only your graduate level students to have access to some content. Okay, so that's with the actual content in your course. Be sure to use the student view. Then when you're at your home, they've changed up the publish here as well. So no longer do you have the green and pink publish buttons. You just click the down arrow, click to publish. You can publish your course at any time, but do know that you can't unpublish it if a student has started any type of work in it. So if a student were to respond to a discussion or that type thing, you would not be able to unpublish it. Okay, let's say that I wanted to give an extension to a student for a quiz. And we've got our new quizzes, which is a little bit different. We can manage our dates here. And we can add extra dates as well. So manage dates has changed to no longer having the box to where it's a pop out on the side. And you can have your due dates, which shows on the calendar. And you can have it available from and until. Let's say I have a student that needs a different date, then I would choose that student out of the list or begin typing them. And then allow that student a little bit longer time to have that date due. And then that would never show for the other students. They only know what's happening with them. Can't happen after the talk about that. There we go. Let's see what it's saying here. September 24. Okay. Let's go back to the 6th. There we go. All right. It told me what I was doing wrong, which I like. And then I can apply that. Okay, that's setting up different windows of time. But say I have a student that needs accommodations on a test. They need more time to take that test. You noticed I clicked build. If I went through that a little bit fast, let me click back to return. Click back to that test. I think that was it. Build. And then you have moderate. So here I can change up any of the times for this particular student. So I can change if they get more than one attempt. I can add more additional attempt for that student. I can give additional time. And then I can choose how much more time they get. So depending on how much time is in this test, I can say I can give them 30 more minutes. And it shows up immediately for that student. Okay, any questions on that? Right. Giving extra credit. You click to return. And then here under assignments is where I would create an extra new assignment. I already have these going on. But let me just go ahead and quickly delete these. If I delete this assignment here, it deletes anywhere that it exists in the course. If I delete a quiz, under quizzes, it deletes under my assignments as well and out of my grades. So let me click add an assignment, extra credit. Give them the work that they need to do. 100 points. All right, so if I'm using weighted, well, let's say it this way. If I'm giving a student extra credit, I don't want them to have 100 points. I want them to have this assignment is 0 points because I don't want this assignment to count against those who have not done it. So I can have 0 points and then I can give as many points as I choose to the student. I don't have to have them submit something, but I can have them submit. So I can go with no submission on paper or online. And I can choose what type of information the student can submit to me. With extra credit, I'd only want to allow them 1 attempt, but that's a personal preference. And then, of course, I can choose to have a due date. If I want them to have this submitted to me by the end of the semester, then I would definitely put that due date in there. I don't have to have it to where I have available from or available until, but I can have that start at the beginning of the course and apply. I then can save and publish. Whoops, wait a minute, I missed something here. Notice on the assignment groups, these are set up to wait. And I can do the extra credit here. Is a column, a group within my assignments. It's weighted. Let me save and publish this, which then adds my column to my grades. Should be to the very end. Or not.
It was there.
That
It's the
might be.
second to last
Okay.
column.
Thank you for that. So it's there, and I can enter grades manually as I need to. Let's click back to assignments. And you notice that I have quite a few assignment groups going on. If you like to weight your grades, then this is how you do it. I know
And we
I've
do
got
have a question. We have a
Okay,
question
go
in the
ahead.
chat. Go ahead, Juan.
Yes, Susan, is there a way to have a practice test that is say based on 100 points, and that we all can see, or I can see what the students got in the practice test, and they can see it as well, but that it won't count towards their actual grade?
Okay, yes. Let me see if that will work with new quizzes. I know for a fact, edit, for the classic quiz, you have practice quiz. You won't be able to see any practice quiz. That just gives the students an opportunity to complete that quiz. So when you do something in practice quiz, it will not show. So I would go with a graded quiz and then make sure you save and publish that. That's test quiz. Make sure that assignment is in a 0%. So I would then take that test quiz and I can either drag it up to the 0% assignment group, or I can actually, as I'm creating it, edit, put it in that assignment group here. So what I mean by that, and let me just start from this scratch point. Adding a group allows you to determine what percentage, and you can set up as many groups as you like. It is preferable that if you are going to have a lot going on in your course, like these imported assignments going on, they're 0%, then there's no need to create a new 0%, just add it to an existing 0%, because it is just going to figure out that for you. This doesn't count towards the grade, but it does give you an idea of what the students are actively doing. Does that make sense? So, by default,
Yes,
when
thank
you when you are given a course and you don't have question groups in it yet, it's just going to be the assignments, and it's not even going to have a percentage. When you click to assign group weights to multiple groups, that's where you can set up your weighting systems. Okay. And if you wanted to get rid of a specific group, you notice there's a whole bunch of groups going on in here, can get cluttered. I do encourage you to keep your course kind of neat and where you understand what's happening with it. You can actually delete this whole group. And it asked me before I delete it, because if I delete it, the group itself, it will delete all the assignments. But I can delete and move the assignments to another group. So I no longer have that imported assignments. They're all in this one assignment group. Okay. Now, let's say we've got multiple tests for our students to do. And let's go with this homework. It's already got 3 existing rules. So I'm going to click to edit those. And this is where you choose. I want to drop the lowest score. Or I want to drop 2 or 3 scores. You can determine that. Now, it also has this rule. So this is homework. It has quizzes in it, and it has other assignments as well. So it says never drop the annotation assignment or the Turnitin. So let me cancel out of this. And you'll see here, there's Turnitin assignment and an annotation assignment. So those will remain regardless of the lowest score. And then anything else of the homework that the student has done, it will drop the lowest from that list. Please let me know if that makes sense to you, or if you'd like me to go into more detail about that. So that's going to be edit. And I can actually just remove all this. So I can start from scratch. Save. And then here, edit. Drop the lowest. But I don't want to drop specific assignments, so I would add the assignments from the list. And it gives me the list of assignments here. So I want to keep my Turnitin assignment. I want to keep my annotation. And let's see if there's something else that I might want to keep. If I do, then it won't consider those part of the drop the lowest score. Okay, questions, answers, anything that's bothering you that you'd like me to follow up on? Okay, I think I've covered everything that I said I would in the description of this workshop. And I can stick around should anyone have specific questions that they'd like to ask. Now, what's going on with you?
Hi,
Yeah, what
Susan.
questions do you all have?
Thank you. I'm teaching a fully online course for the first time this fall, and I'm wondering about if the template for the online courses has been dropped into my Canvas course already, or if I need to request that. And if it's not there, will a copy over from another course mess that up if I get you to put that template in the new
Okay.
Canvas course?
No, I can add the template to your new Canvas course. If you have if you're copying content from a previous existing course, your homepage may override the existing templates, but other than that, it shouldn't affect anything. Yeah, just let me know. I don't automatically add it just because not everybody wants it, but great question.
So I should copy over the course first and then ask you to add the new template so that I'm sure that I'm not copying over the new template links.
I think the links that are associated with the course template don't even affect what you've got going on. They're going to be more university type links. So,
Okay, so
then,
I just need to get my home page settled before I ask you to input the template then. Is that correct?
No, let me import the template and then you can do your home page as you need. That's going to be the best bet.
And copying over will not mess up the new template then, you're saying?
I'm saying it'll be fine.
Okay. And also, I understand that ProctorU has bought Examity, and
Exactly.
I was wondering about the status of testing in Examity versus ProctorU.
So this semester, because of I had worked with them through the summer and we never did get a pilot going per se. So we've continued to work with them to get any problems that they might have. They created a new LTI situation. But the way it's working right now is that you as the instructor get to choose. Do you want to be part of the ProctorU pilot or do you want to be part of the use the Examity? You being new to Proctor, and I would recommend ProctorU. They will provide us with tutorials and training as soon as I get a list to them of who needs the training.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think about that, I guess.
I understand. I mean, if you've never used Examity, it's still going to be a learning curve either way. Do you know Zimmer? He's been working with them to help get bugs worked out as well. He's feeling pretty proud of himself right now.
So you do think ProctorU exams are ready to go? That examination function is ready to go?
I'm pretty certain, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
There was a question in the chat, so I just want to make sure everybody saw it. The question was, what are the eyes next to the links in that course navigation pane? That's just showing what is visible to the students or what is visible to only you as the instructor. If it has the eyes with the slash next to it, only you as the instructor can see that. If you want to edit that, you can do so in the settings, but that just shows what students see versus what you see.
So notice I went to the student view and the majority of those links disappeared. I leave student view and they are now showing. You can control what your students see under settings, navigation, and you can add and remove links according to your needs. For most instructors, you may want to add the course materials. This is the link to the ebooks. So if the student buys the package of the bundle of ebooks, they would access it under the course materials. So you saw how I just dragged it up from the bottom. And then anything that I don't want my students to see, I can drag down. So let's say I'm not going to use Cisco WebEx. Then I just save that. And that changes my student's view. I'm going to have to check into, because we no longer have a license to use Zoom anymore. So I'm have to check to see about that and probably pull that link from our Canvas completely. How to find out if there is an ebook. So that's going to be through the bookstore. And
Yeah, I
Go
would
ahead, Bonnie.
ask in your school, I would probably ask your director or your associate director about what textbooks have been ordered for your course, because in order to have an e-textbook available, it had to have been chosen for your course earlier, typically in the spring, when course for fall courses selections were due.
I've had a couple of faculty that have asked me about if they have to do anything in SOAR, like if there's an ebook assigned to their class, do they have to do anything to make it visible? Other than, I assume, making sure that the course materials link is visible?
That's it. All they have to do is click the course materials. If it's associated with them already through the bookstore, when the student goes in and checks and it's there through the bookstore, then it will automatically provide a link under course materials here for the student. Right now, I don't have any because there's none associated with this particular course. But if there is ever a problem, just contact us. We know the contacts for Barnes and Nobles to make sure that they update that information.
And to clarify, Susan, this is just for the ebook, not if you're using like Connect or other products that you're using test banks and SmartBook and stuff like that for. That's a different,
Right.
that's the Connect through the menu.
Right. Most individuals who use the publisher's content will have the rep, and I urge you to talk with your rep to understand exactly how to go about making sure your content's available within Canvas, because they don't work, all of them don't work the same. We'll just say that. So talk to your publisher rep, and then we'll work with you to get that added.
Yeah, and you can get your publisher rep probably from, again, your school director, who will send you to that person and help you connect, and they'll work with you. I've used it before to help set up everything in your course that you're trying to use through their features.
Susan, and as far as I know, most of my colleagues are using classic quizzes. And I just wondered how many people on campus have migrated to new quizzes. You know, is it a lot of people, most people?
I know that I can't say exactly how many have. I do know that Canvas had said that June 20th was supposed to be the end of life for Classic Quiz, but they decided, since there were still so many people still using Classic Quiz, that they would not end it. Do know that new quizzes does have quite a few more features available to you. And yes, I can help you with moving your test banks to item banks for any course that you choose. You won't lose those. I know you've got the hugest test bank of questions ever, and I know you don't want to lose those. So I can help you with making sure those get transported to the new quiz area.
Okay, well, I thank you. I appreciate that. But I am wondering, just campus wide, do we have most people on new quizzes, or are there still pockets?
There's
Don't know?
going to be pockets that prefer to use the classic quiz just
Okay.
because they're not familiar with new quiz.
Okay.
It
All
is
right.
it is a little, well, it is completely different from building the classic quiz, but it is much better.
Okay. Thanks.
Mhm. Okay, with that, we've got 2 more minutes. Any more questions before we say adieu? Do know you can reach out to Callie or myself, Callie.Crowell, Crowell, or myself at our email. There you go. Thank you, Callie. All right, then if there's no more questions, we'll let you have the rest of your day to work on your courses. I know you're excited about that.
Thank you so much, folks. And we have our 2 final sessions in our Pay, Prepare, and Engage series tomorrow, again with Susan and Callie. The one at 9:30 is going to talk about using Canvas Studio. So if you're interested in inserting videos into your Canvas shell, that's the one to go to. And then at 2 o'clock, they'll go over talking about assignments, quizzes, and the grade book if you want some more clarity of that after you've set up some things a little bit after today's session. So thank you again, Susan and Callie. Thank you all for attending, and hopefully we'll see you